Next is society. I told you society was divided into 4 groups: aristocracy, priestly class, town people and peasant. First of all, who I am going to define the aristocracy. In this category, the rich people were found, like sultans, nobles, these were the ministers of the king, Hindu chiefs, bankers and the merchants. And they were led luxurious life. Their lifestyle was very luxurious, and they had the big houses and also had the number of servants and the slaves to do work at home. And the thing that was important about them, they were not pay any tax to the government. So this class was the rich class. Sultan nobles came under this category, and they had the big houses. And the sultan, he was the absolute powerful. He had the many powers to rule. So second class is priestly class. That was the religious class who came under this category. You can see on page number 49. The second class, that was the priestly class. The ulemas, Molvis, Kajis, Brahmins, Pandits came under this category. The third category, that was the town people who came under this category: traders, merchants, artisans, craftsmen. And the traders were very rich at the time. They were also involved in internal trade as well as in the external trade. Internal means in the country, external means they also sell their goods in the other countries. So they were very rich at the time, and they lived mostly in those towns where they can easily go to the other countries and where they can easily sell their goods. Next, fourth category was mostly the peasants. At the time, the condition of the peasant was not good. They were very poor, and they were led the miserable life, and they had to pay the tax to the government. I told you the aristocracy, they did not pay any tax to the government, but the peasants, they had to pay tax to the government. Underline this, that is important. Rather than the land revenue, they also paid the house tax. You can see here, house tax, grazing tax. These were the other tax which they had to pay to the government. And our next topic is, students, that is clear: aristocracy, priestly class, religious class, Maulvis, Pandits, ulemas. Third, town people like merchants, traders, and fourth, peasants. Next is social evils. What are the, first of all, I am going to define the meaning of evils. These were the problems which were found in the society, like the caste system. The different castes were there during the Delhi Sultanate. The people were divided into Hindus, Muslims, and they were following their rules, their caste rules strictly. And next is a second evil which was found in the society, that was gambling and drinking. During the Delhi Sultanate, the nobles became very wealthy, and they started to drink. And during the time of Alauddin Khilji, he banned many parties to control the nobles. Next is child marriage. Child marriage was there. The daughters were got married very early during the Delhi Sultanate. That was found mostly in the Hindu society, because at that time the Muslims attacked on India, and they forced the Hindu people to marry with them. So that's why they started to marry their girls in the early age. And next evil which was found in society, that was parda system. In the Muslim society, the women, they had to cover their face. That was the parda system. And next, the sati system, that was found among the Rajputs. Under this system, the woman had to sacrifice herself. How she sacrificed herself? By sitting atop of her husband's funeral pyre. When her husband died, she sit on the top of her husband's funeral pyre, and she also died with her husband. That was known as the sati system, which was found among the Rajput. That was also the evil. And the birth of the girl child was not welcomed at the time. Under the Firoz Shah Tughlaq, the women were also prohibited to enter into the tombs. And now the Hindus also started to follow this idea. Now in many Hindus, they did not allow the girls to enter into the temples. So these were the evils, these were the social evils which were found in the society during the Delhi Sultanate. Next is economic condition. The internal trade was there, external trade was also there. Internal means that was the trade under the state or under the country. External means the trade which was done with the other countries or the other states. The rice, wheat, sugar, metal, these were the important things which were imported from the other parts of the country. These things were brought from the other parts of the country in India, and with their trade was with Arabia, with East Africa, or with China. These were the countries where the traders went to sell their goods. And the coins which were famous at the time, they were the tanka, that was the silver coin, and the mohurs, that was the gold coins. The traders used these coins for trade. And in spite of the trade, the agriculture was there in the society. So the agriculture was also the main source of the income of the Delhi rulers. And the land revenue, land tax, was the main source of the income, I already told you. And rather than the agriculture and the trade, the industries were also there. They were known as the karkhanas. They were also there for what? To prepare the weapons and the other materials. Language and literature. Which languages were found at the time and which books were written during the Delhi Sultanate? Persian was the language, underline this, that is important, which was the administrative language during the Delhi Sultanate. Persian was the language of the administration, and rather than Persian, because the Persian was used by the Turks, so that was the language of the administration. And they also knows the Arabic, so the many Arabs also used the Arabic language. The Persian was also there and the Arabic language was also there. In India, the Sanskrit was the language of the higher learning among the Hindus. The third language which was found in India, that was the Sanskrit, that was Indian language, and many Hindus knows about this language. That was also famous at the time. And the Bhakti and the Sufi movements, they also made the regional languages, regional languages famous, like Bengali, Hindi, Gujarati, Punjabi and Telugu. These languages were also found during the Delhi Sultanate. Next is the growth of the Persian and the Hindi. Because of the Persian and Hindi, because of the mixture of Persian and Hindi, the new language came up that was known as the Urdu. And at the time, many scholars were there. The name of the one scholar was Amir Khusro. He used the Persian to wrote many books. And the Sanskrit writers were also there, like Jayadeva, Ramanuj, Sarthi, Mishra. These were the Sanskrit writers who wrote the books in Sanskrit.